So yeah, so basically, fuck the bullshit, fuck the propaganda, fuck what anyone thinks. This is I was there type shit, right? I'm gonna break down as best as I can. So, and what we're breaking down is why Trump got elected, right? Like how his election really happened, what really happened, no bullshit, no, it was the Democrats, the Illuminati, the White House bias. This is what fucking happened. I'm gonna tell you how I fell into it, the knowledge of it, you know what I mean, and seeing it happen firsthand in a culture space, right? So here's me, minding my own fucking business, going to school, right? College on the GI Bill, playing a lot of League of Legends, playing Magic cards with my friends. Normal fucking life. Always been a culture, poked around on Reddit a lot, right? You know what Reddit is.
Yep.
Okay. I see a funny meme, and it shows 4chan, or it shows the backslash. It's like a picture of just like an old religious picture of the people fleeing Jericho, right? And the walls are falling, smoking, fire in the background. And there's like the religious characters fleeing into the foreground. It's a famous picture. Couldn't tell you the name, but it's basically some people dressed like Jesus fleeing from a burning city, right? But somebody had put a meme on it, and at that point, it was way before memes got crazy like they are now. And it was like backslash bull, POL, which is the politically incorrect board on 4chan. And they were the people fleeing. And in the background, the thing that was burning was 4chan, right? The board. And I was pretty acquainted with digital cultures. I knew about the Tumblr wars and all that shit. It's like it's like jokey stuff, kids stuff. And I was like, what the fuck could be going on that's gonna get pulled to leave 4chan? Like 4chan's burning, that's like ridiculous. It's know nothing board, right? I learned about a lot more about 4chan with this experience too. It educated me a lot. So I go check it out. I'm gonna break down what the drama was, right? The initial match starting drama. What it was there was this video game that come out that was called Depression Quest, right? And it was dog shit. It was straight garbage. It was it was supposed to be some like masterpiece on like how to empathize with people who have fucking depression, you know what I mean? And this is what the entire game was. It was a black screen with like a choose your own adventure text, like a MUD, if you know what a MUD is, right? And it would be like, you wake up in the morning, do you go get coffee, go to the shower, whatever it is, right? You know, what are these 4 simple options you do? And you're like, okay, go make some coffee, right? And then a little flash would come up, and the text would come up. It said, you feel depressed. And then it would come up, as you're grinding the coffee, what do you do next? And have like 4 basic-ass options. And if you clicked on a basic-ass option, like, oh, I go outside of the garden, it would come up and be like, you feel depressed, and this is now you're in the garden, you know what I mean? And that's all. This whole fun game, no graphics, no nothing, blah bullshit, right? And there's always been like funky shit happening in like games journalism, right? Like there's always, because no one gives a fuck, right? So every industry game is like an 8 out of 10, even when it's garbage, you know what I mean? But no one cares. This video game's fucking funny shit, right? So this game got like a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, something like that. And people were like, what the fuck is going on? And the gamers were up and rage, like, this is so corrupt that this score could be allowed to slide in these magazines. It's just this little incestuous clique of fucking games bloggers in San Francisco writing all the video game reviews and fucking each other, basically, right? Well, we didn't know the fucking each other part until this happened. And so first, there's all this bullshit happening about, like, shitty reviews, right? So that was the backstory. That's what I found out was the initial spark. That's not where I came in. What was causing 4chan, or Paul to leave 4chan, is some additional information came out. The woman who developed Depression Quest and got all these great reviews, right? Well, she was a very public persona, because all these kids are public these days. They're all on Instagram and Facebook, showing their lives to the world, right? And she got in a public, like, Twitter spat, this was Twitter at the time, with her ex-boyfriend who called her out in public for cheating on her, right? And he came with receipts. He had, like, photographs, and their fucking screenshots, because she was fucking around behind his back, right? And so he got super mad at her. He was outing her for cheating on her with like these 5 other fucking dudes, right? Still not a big deal, except somebody knows the name. She's like, wait a second, I know that name, right? Just some random person on the internet knows the conversation, knows the name. It's like, oh, that's the games journalist who gave her the good fucking review. She's fucking all the games journalists to get her shit published, to get all us to buy shit so she can make money, right? And that was the drama. No fucking big deal in reality. Shouldn't have ever turned into anything. But then 4chan started getting censored, right? Because she's also fucking one of the fucking mods on 4chan. You know what I mean? Like, this is all happening in San Francisco, mind you. Like, these are still... So, Silicon Valley clique in San Francisco doing woke culture shit. Turns the whole thing. People take the initial step, and they start just tearing these people's lives apart. Like, this guy's related to this guy, he's cut right. And all they're trying to do is get, like, an honest score on, like, whether or not Baldur's Gate 2 is good or not. Right? And then hit pieces start coming out on mainstream media. Gamergate. Evil Nazis. Right? Shit like that. Like, these evil fucking gamers getting ready. They hate women. Right? All this crazy shit was coming out. And you have all these, like, 9 and 11-year-old kids being like, yo, what? What the fuck do you mean? And so they have no access to news, so they just start spreading information through memetics, just making memes on how retarded everybody is, right? And that's how memetics really got started. And the thing is, as the conversation continued, and once I saw what was going on, I tuned into too, but then I started getting perturbed because I was seeing mainstream media was jumping on it, right? There was ESPN articles on, like, in paper magazines about, like, the evil misogynist gamergators who want to murder women, like, ridiculous fucking shit, you know what I mean? And basically, but once all these 9 and 11-year-olds all saw what was going on too, like, an entire generation of video game playing men, right? They just switched how they operated totally, right? And they started attacking the people they see as aggressing on their culture, right? And these are people who play, like, grind for hours to get, like, a rare piece of gear in World of Warcraft. You know what I mean? Like they have a lot of time to spare winning fucking arguments on the internet, and they're very good at, like, doing big spreadsheets and, like, math and, like, finding interconnecting plot points, you know? Kind of like been doing that since they were 2, playing World of Warcraft and shit. And so then they pushed Trump. Is what happened. Is they backed Trump with a mimetic campaign, right? And it flipped the general consensus. And Roger Lynch talks about when you flip the general consensus, you go. Now, Trump was never supposed to be fucking president. He was not trying to be president. Trump was Ross Perot of that election. He was there to split the vote and make it look like fucking Hillary won legitimately because dumbass Trump split the vote. Except because they activated all these fucking kids who then went at the fucking information war with this new type of technology, for lack of a better term. And there were so fucking many of them because everybody plays fucking video games, right? They flipped the election. That's why, like, remember how big the fervor was? Like, Trump's a traitor when he first got elected? You remember that? Like, he's just a traitor. That's because the elite thought that he had betrayed them. They thought Trump had pulled some shit on the inside and was the next Hitler. That's why they thought Hitler, because that's what Hitler did. And he was about to turn on them, the people who put him in power, and try to seize power. And so they just angled everything against him. And then so he had to spend, like, a whole fucking, his first fucking 2 years of his term was going to the Davos meeting, going and convincing everybody, right, that he didn't do it. They're like, well, if you didn't do it, how'd you become president then? Total separate group. Did it for the laws. Not even fucking joking. Just to see if they could. And then they found out they could. And since then, they've just been, as a culture, it is running rampant all throughout, like, the backwoods of the internet. They're splintering off into all tons of groups. I'm more on their side than anybody's side, but also, like, and then, like, Andrew Tate, all this shit comes from the fact that the elite were outed so hard during this process of events, and they didn't even realize they had been outed to the degree that they had been outed, that gave everyone permission to just do whatever the fuck they wanted at that point, right? And I'm convinced everything we've seen since then is that shit rolling downhill, right? But the real situation is because these are technically kids who figure this shit out, and they hadn't even started to get into the deeper political shit. They're still a little behind the curve, but because I'm like one of the most educated because I'm in there. I was there with them with all the information, but I had all my military experience, right? And I also did want to point something else though, which was forgot. It was relatively important, but basically, yeah, it all comes back to some fucking chick in San Francisco, fucking Bay Area nerds, to get shitty reviews for her shitty choose your own adventure depression fucking quest game, so she can make money. And because these all one incestuous family, all it took was cousin Johnny, who got caught fucking this chick to give her good reviews, who's afraid now for his life because all these gamers want to burn his house down, even though they don't know who he is, to call daddy up and tell him about all the hateful gamers. And because daddy works in CNN, he wants to run because, oh my god, it's my son, right? Oh, my son is in danger. And that's how Trump got elected. He wasn't even trying to be elected. There's a fucking song called It's Not My Fault, which you can watch, which is them talking to themselves. And if you watch the song, it's like four robbers. I'll show you the music video on the side, but it's for fucking whoever's going to watch this one day. Four robbers come in. The song's Not My Fault. Four robbers come in dressed as Trump, Bill Clinton, Hillary, and Barack Obama, and they rob a bank. And then shit starts going south, and they're all running off, right? And at the end, Trump gets caught, right? But the whole song is someone singing like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I did all the shit you guys did. I did all these things, but I swear it's not my fault. And that's because it really wasn't his fault. He was not trying to be elected. He was not supposed to be elected. He has spent the first 2 fucking years apologizing, right? And so the real situation, he's totally on their side. And the real situation, what it looks like right now what they're doing is they're setting him up to what they're going to do. So they got all the immigrants are scary things going out. Elon Musk just started pushing, we're going to clean it up, right? And then Trump's going to become president. Like, they're basically taking Kamala, right? Because this is all controlled by the same group. They're taking Kamala, they're making Trump president. They're going to... The news is going to say, we are getting rid of the illegal immigrants now. The reality on the ground is going to be they're going to give all the immigrants guns and get rid of us and disarm the American populace. Right? That's the plan. And so they'll be going to, like, all these patriots will be like, yay! Same as Yuri Bezmenov. Yay! We won! Yay! We won! They're the first ones getting jacked. Right? And so I'm not worried about that because I would never recommend anyone register a weapon ever. This is fucking America. Why would you... Well, governments don't exist, dummies. How the fuck do you end up over here? You know what I mean? Like, fuck these motherfuckers. But yeah, that's how Trump goes. Some chick fucking dudes for game reviews. Go figure.